Just talking to somebody on my team and they were asking me how I performed doing a DM setting job, which nobody really loves, right? And so my millionaire mentor said, Doc, how did you do that for the 6 months that you did it for while simultaneously doing discovery calls and sales calls and like starting to run the business before you started delegating? And I've been thinking about it for like 2 weeks on how the heck did I do that, right? And it, what's up, buddy? And it's a really good question because let's be honest, there are some jobs, come here, boy, that really, really suck. There really are. There are some jobs that really, really suck, but you still need to do them. And I think I've cracked the code personally on how I get them done. You stay here, all right, boy? Say hi to the camera. Hi there. So the way that I make sure that I stay in the correct mindset when it's time to do work that I don't want to do, for example, like this job, the job that I was doing, I would wake up at 5 in the morning, I would go right to my desk. Okay, I would go right to my desk and I would start answering DMs. If you guys don't know what I was doing, I would literally go on Instagram and answer all the DMs in my Millionaire Mentor's inbox, and I would answer all the DMs in his Facebook inbox and all the DMs in his school inbox. And the goal of this was to answer DMs, to then get them on a call, to then sell them, and I would get 7.5% of that. Now, that sucks. Having conversations all day, it's just busy work, right? So for me personally, I don't enjoy it. For some people, that organization might be awesome. Like my girlfriend actually was like, whoa, this is actually pretty fun. But for me, I didn't like it. But I treated it like I freaking loved it. And one of the ways that I made sure that I treated it like I loved it was, shoot, I had no other choice. I had just ran out of money. I used the last amount of money I had to buy a course. And so literally I felt as though if this didn't work out, I was gonna be screwed. I was gonna be running Uber or driving Lyft. That's literally where I was before. I was thinking about getting a car and driving Lyft before this happened. And luckily I found this. And so one, I treated it like it was life or death. Literally life or death. I'm like, I don't even wanna live if I can't live a life. I don't wanna live if I have to be a waiter anymore. I can't do that shit. So one, treat it like it was life or death. Two, I understood the theme of an apprenticeship. I understood, back in the old days, you would sign a contract that said, listen, I'm gonna work with you for 7 years, learn the trade of carpentry, and then afterwards I'm gonna take a master test and create this beautiful work of art and then get my title as journeyman and then be able to go travel around and practice this craft. So I also understood the art of apprenticeship, and I knew, well, if I wanna be a successful businessman, if I wanna make a lot of money, if I wanna help a lot of people, if I wanna do this for real, well, how freaking lucky am I that the person that I'm working for is a multi-millionaire running a successful $100,000 a month business? I'm like, whoa. So number two is get into a position where the people who you're working around are exactly where you want to be. Because then it's exciting to show up to work, because you know that if you're sitting at your computer all day, you might get a message with a crazy opportunity that could change your life forever. Like, hey bro, are you free to jump on this discovery call? I'm not free. And then you jump on the discovery call and now they're like, wow, you're great at that. Can you take this sales call? And then next thing you know, you're doing sales calls, and next thing you know, you're making whatever per month. So two, get around people and get a job in the craft and the niche that you want to be in, and then make sure the person above you is somebody that you want to emulate and want to be like. Then it's exciting. So number one, treat it like it's life or death. Number two, get into a job where the people you're around inspire the heck out of you and you know you can learn from them. Okay? And number three, guys, I don't even know if there needs to be more than that. Number three is just do it diligently. Understand that your reputation is everything, okay? I was actually just having a conversation with one of my friends. He's a bartender, and his manager is usually really, really good, really calm, but they had a crazy day at work. There was packed tables, there was no room, and this waiter started having trouble. And instead of him helping her, the manager got so freaked out and so in his head that he went over to her and started yelling at her. And normally everybody loves that manager. Now, nobody respects him because he cracked under pressure. So number three is understanding that the people above you, it's possible they're only going to give you one shot. So if you're not there when they need you, if it's 5 a.m. and he's up, the person who you're working for, right, and learning from, and he's up and he's messaging you and you're not responding, you're going to lose that opportunity. He's going to go, wow, this guy really doesn't want it as much as I do. And that's what blows my mind as well is, listen, the people who are in these positions are there because they have been doing the right things consistently over a long span of time. They've been working very intensely, very efficiently for a long span of time. So when I send out a message to anybody on my team, if they don't respond and they're in my time zone, I go, well, they obviously aren't as hungry as me. So your reputation can be damaged very, very quickly. Very, very, very quickly. So you need to make sure that you're available. I've got another story on that. When I was running DMs only, nobody saw me. I didn't go visit any family. I didn't go visit my girl's family. I didn't visit my family. I didn't visit my friends. So it was like 3 or 4 months in, and for the first time I was like, bro, all right, fine. He asked me to go to lunch. I went to lunch with him. Halfway through the lunch, Ted goes, yo, are you free? My millionaire mentor, are you free in 15 minutes? Of course, I go yes. And I tell him, dog, I gotta go. The food hasn't even arrived yet. Food arrives 3 minutes later. Craziest thing. I'm vegan, right? I don't eat, maybe pescatarian, right? Sometimes I'll eat eggs, right? I ordered an omelet with eggs, but I didn't order like any cheese or any BS in it. They gave me an omelet with like pulled pork in it. Guys, I haven't eaten meat in 5 years. I was so hungry because I was working so hard, and I didn't have time to say like, yo, this isn't it. I freaking ate that pulled pork thing. It was gross. And I said, dog, I gotta go. And the worst part is I was his ride. I'm like, dog, I gotta go. You're gonna have to Uber home. I gotta be here because I know that I cannot miss any opportunities. I need to make myself available at all times. And he's like, dude, I understand. Great guy. Shout out to my boy Bernie. I drove home, made it, took the call. And this happened on multiple occasions. At that time, I had just gotten into a car accident. My shoulder was messed up. And there would be many a time where I'd be driving a PT, physical therapy, and he'd be like, yo, can you jump on a call in 5 minutes? And I go, yep. And I would turn the car around, not show up to PT, reschedule it, and I would show up every single time. If you guys had seen the camera, I had a camera in my house and in my life while I was going through that testing period, the trial period, I didn't crack under one trial. I did not. I was working every single hour I was awake. I was working. My girl hated it. But now I'm on the other side, and I've got so much more freedom. And I'm managing all these people, and I'm trying to instill in them the exact tenacity, the exact energy that I had to get me to where I was. And these are the 3 pieces that got me out of the trials and tribulations period into a position of greater power where I could use other people and show them how they can succeed, right? Because everybody has to go through the trials and tribulations. So what's really interesting is you have to go through that. Because if you don't go through that, then you don't have the gear in your head that can click on when shit goes bad to succeed, right? So if you're having a crappy month, I know I can click on that gear and go ham bone because I've gone through the trials and tribulations period. So when people come to me and go, listen, I don't want to go through that period, I said, listen, I don't want anybody that hasn't gone through that period. So that's what's so cool about this cycle. And I was talking to my coaches about this as well. I was talking to my team. Guys, we cannot get to here if we're not willing to go through here. God will sometimes give you a glimpse of step 4 if you're at step 1. But if you try jumping straight to step 4, you're going to drown in the water because you missed step 2 and 3. And so I am so proud that I've went through that step 2 and that step 3, and I'm so grateful for the slop of step 4, all right? Whatever it is, I'm excited for every single step because I know where I am aiming, and I know I can attain that if I follow my systems. If I follow my system. So again, number 1, making sure that you're treating it like it's life or death, okay? Treat it like it's life or death. If you don't get there, it's over, you're done. Number 2, I'll go straight to number 3. Number 3, understanding that reputation is absolutely everything, and it takes forever to build, and it takes a second to destroy. Okay? Number 2, let me try and see if I can remember number 2. Guys, tell me, drop it in the comments while I'm thinking. Number 2 is make yourself always available. I don't know number 2, but you guys can go back and watch it. I'm super excited to see everybody who is as hungry as I am and as hungry as my millionaire mentor succeed. Because guys, it's not pretty, right? It's not pretty until the results start coming in, you know? But it's the most important day in the gym is day number 1. Right? Because at least you're getting there and you're showing up. And then years later, you start to have a body. Same thing with business. The most important day is day number 1. But years later is when you actually see the results of your effort. So if you are putting in work right now and you feel like you're not seeing the fruits of your labor, understand how momentum is built, okay? Understand that it takes time to build that wave. But once that wave starts crashing, guys, the power is going to be, it's evident. It's so easy to see. And also understand that once the waves start crashing, you might think that you're going to crash forever. You're going to be great. But also understand momentum works the same way. So if you stop working as hard as you're working and things keep going well, you're like, oh, I'm shredded, I can eat a donut. You're not going to notice the first day that you ate a donut. You're not going to notice the second day that you've been eating donuts. You're not going to notice the third day you've been eating donuts. But I promise you, 3 months later, when you got that gut, you're going to realize, wow, I could not get away with that. So treat momentum the same way. Guys, you got to continue the onward force, the freaking consistent pressure. So I hope that was beneficial to you. I hope that gets you amped up as much as it gets me amped up, because I love this stuff. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.